Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and we have a fairly good battle in the Warspite. This was actually right before I started streaming on Friday, I believe. No, it was not Friday, it was Saturday. So this is right before we started streaming. I'm with Huggable and Udachi. We all streamed Saturday night. Their links to their Twitch channel is down and below, so do follow them if you do enjoy some World Warships. And obviously, as you can see, Huggable is in the Tier 6 British CV that is recently coming out. This was prior to the update, but he's playing the Furious, while Udachi is playing the Fuso. And I am currently working, or was working, on trying to get the Executor as soon as possible. So I'm taking the Warspite out, because I think I needed damage, something like that. I don't really recall. But we are currently being attacked by the enemy Furious. Does land a hit on us, doesn't really cause a lot of damage. So overall, not too dangerous. And surprisingly, maybe it's because I don't play the Warspite very often, but surprisingly, the AA is pretty darn far. It does have a 5.5 range on its AA, and obviously a 5.8 on its secondaries, but probably what's the Warspite most well known for is her Sigma value and her dispersion. This is how I think the British battleships should have been really focused on, is just the accuracy. Because Warspite's a lot of fun. I think it really had a lot of potential. It had, it actually kind of followed like that. So we are playing Domination. We're playing on New Dawn, which I love this map. This map is by far my most favorite maps. It brings back a lot of memories. This is actually the map where I uploaded my very first World of Warships video. Please don't go and watch that. It's quite terrible, trust me. So, starting off, we're actually pushing towards A right now. The enemy team is limbing towards their spawn. They haven't actually really pushed up that far. They have managed to capture B, which is beneficial, I guess, for them, because we actually have yet to capture something. I think we're just about to capture the A cap if that Leander stays in cap. So Warspite is actually one of the more oldest premiums. It's been around for a while, so it's probably by no great surprise to anyone just the accuracy on these guns. It is a dreadnought battleship, which means it's very slow and kinda, well, it is tanky, but can still pretty much be hammered by battleships, especially when this Omaha decides to sit still and just shoot behind this island. Oh no. Can you guess what's about to happen to the Omaha? Yep, that is one dead Omaha. First blood and devastating strike for us. So things are looking pretty darn nice. We're actually going to go ahead and pull away, get behind the island, allow ourselves to kind of recuperate the damage that was done against us. Now, another aspect of the Warspite, besides obviously fairly big caliber shells and great accuracy, is the maneuverability on the ship. Now, I'm not talking about the speed. The speed is slow. It's a sluggish dreadnought era battleship, in that New York, 17, almost 18,000 points off of his health. No, this ship can turn and has a decent rudder, but predominantly good turning circle radius, which means it can turn very sharply and pretty much out dodge torpedoes if needs be. So very similar to cruisers on maneuverability, on being able to doing nice tight turning circle radius. So at the moment, our team's kind of split up. The enemy team is actually kind of grouped up together, which I guess is good for them, but they're not really pushing towards anything. And there we go, got a nice hit on that Fuso. No citadels, unfortunately, on that broadside Fuso. Did get around 13,000 points of damage against him, which is always super nice to dish out. We're already up to 54,539 points of damage, and enemy team is a little bit ahead just because they did have B for a little while. But once again, the enemy team's not really doing much in the way of pushing towards a cap. They're very slowly running away from A, which I think they, honestly, if they really wanted to, they could take out our Pensacola, our Taka, and our Britannia that's currently sitting over at C. So, not great play by the enemy team. They actually kind of have a numbers advantage if, you know, they had pushed towards one cap. So they could have, you know, outnumbered us at one cap and pushed against us. But instead, they're just kind of meandering all over their spawn, not really doing too terribly much. Now, obviously, the downside of the Warspite is the fact of her guns turn so slowly. Now, these are actually post-buff. When the ship first came out, the guns were absolutely terrible. You had to turn more of the ship than the actual guns themselves because they were just that slow to get turned. I believe, I want to say almost a minute, maybe even longer, on just doing 180 degrees. Very slow turning times on the guns. Now, I don't remember exactly what captain this is. Could be the special captain that has increased turn time on its guns. Now, I do pop my plane because we do know there is a Leander currently hiding in that smoke, and I am currently working on improving shooting at a smoked up ship, and unfortunately we do see it shots away, and even without a primarily a target, we still miss everything. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Unfortunately for us, of course, the smoke dissipates, Leander fires, and is instantly detected. And of course, my guns are reloading, so I'm obviously going to allow a few of my friends to focus on that. See if they can take out that Leander for me. If worse comes to worse, I do have my secondaries, and the Warspite secondaries are nothing to shake a stick at. They're quite impressive. Yudachi finally gets the kill on the Leander there. You have to be careful of any torpedoes, and there we go. That is our second kill of the game. That New York, even though angled, we overpinned and pinned his armor. That gave us obviously our second kill. So not too bad, especially at that range. Fuso extraordinarily low on health. Be a shame if someone were to kind of steal that kill. Let's see. Now leave Huggable. The Furious and the Ruho both simultaneously attacked the enemy Fuso, and I get a good hit. Leaves them at 638 points of health. I know. You can even hear the motorcycle getting angry at the fact that I didn't get this kill. That's alright. Not gonna be overly concerned with it. Does damage our gun, but other than that, very minimal amount of damage. Fuso finally goes down to Yudachi, which is good. And we're actually starting to cap B. And keep in mind, B is the only cap the enemy team actually currently has. And this is where kind of the funny bit of the video comes to. And yes, there is a funny bit of this video. So I'm currently pushing towards C. We have a Congo on the 1 line. We have Yudachi and the Fuso on the 4 line with a Koenig, and they're actually going to be going after, I believe, the enemy CV. There is the Iron Duke, the Normandy, the Emerald, poor Emerald, the Julio Cesar, the Alba, and also, I believe, an Anshan over at C. And guess where I'm going? Yeah, I'm going to be taking on predominantly all the ships. Now, I'm not going to say I'm completely and utterly alone, but I'm pretty darn close to it. So, shots off at the Alba, goes down to the Fubuki. Kind of a waste of salvo, could have used that for something else. Fortunately for us, our Fubuki is going to go down. Once again, there is an Anshan that was just detected over on the G10 line. So we do know there is a destroyer, a sneaky little destroyer. Now, obviously, I'm not overly concerned about a DD at this time. I do have Huckle. He is going to offering assistance. But predominantly my main concern right now is going to be those battleships. Because there is a Julio Cesar, there is a Normandy, there is an Iron Duke, a Emerald, still over there. So I do have to be a little bit careful. But once again, Warspite with his big guns can hit pretty hard. Normandy lost a huge chunk of health there. We just earned Confederate as well. So really beneficial there. The Anshan is currently being detected by my friend's planes. He does have torp planes, so he doesn't really feel comfortable in taking out a DD with torp planes, so he is at least kind of keeping him spotted. Now, I'm the closest target to a lot of these ships. I think the lander just went down. Closest target to a lot of these ships. And surprisingly, as we just take out the enemy Emerald there, no one's really been shooting at us. There's the Iron Duke, the Julio Cesar, the Normandy, and we're just now starting to get focused. And Leander actually detonates the Iron Duke. The Koenig takes out the enemy Furious, and the Furious takes out the enemy Congo. So at the moment, I'm a little bit safe because the Anshan is currently behind the island. And this is where kind of the issue with Warspite guns, it's just they turn so slowly that the Julio Cesar does get turned away a bit, but even that doesn't matter because these are Warspite guns, and that is kill number 4 with high caliber. And there's an angry looking smokescreen over there, more than likely that is the Anshan, possibly dropping torpedoes, and obviously would be a very good idea to get turned around. So yes, quickly gonna do that. Of course, he is detected just for a moment, but my guns are facing pretty much the wrong way and not fully reloaded until now. That even if he was spotted at this moment, I wouldn't be able to do much because once again, these are Warspite guns and they turn so sluggishly that it is not funny. Now, our team obviously very much in control at this time, and Yudashi is following up with the Koenig. I'm still facing off against 2 enemy ships, Normandy and a Anshan. Now, who's the biggest threat here? As you probably can guess, it is the enemy Anshan. Those nasty torpedoes, and the Warspite's torpedo belt protection is alright. It's nothing too impressive, but obviously I'm sitting at 32,000 points of health. 4 torpedoes from the enemy Anshan could easily mean my death. And there we go. Finally, we get to see the secondaries. And of course, the Normandy is firing HE. Oh, the British battleship syndrome. Yeah. So obviously I'm concerned with that, and Shen could easily come around that corner and possibly torpedo me. Don't have a lot of health left. Fire 2 salvos just in case I don't get the hit on the enemy Normandy. Of course, he goes down to the friendly CV, and this is where I get a little greedy. Just a bit. Of course, Anshan is going to be dropping torpedoes. And there we go, Kraken Unleashed. But unfortunately for us, the enemy CV is also dropping us. And this is going to be my demise. Because even with the heal, that Furious is able to get a drop off, which is going to mean my demise. But overall, not a bad battle. 146,441 points of damage, earned first blood, devastating strike, Confederate high caliber, and Kraken Unleashed. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining in and watching. If you like what we saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.